It's pretty rare for me to do list videos like this. You don't often see me do like 5 albums of this genre for any particular year often on this channel. In fact, I don't think I ever have, but I thought it was worthwhile doing a video like this because there have been quite a few trap albums that have gone under the radar from 2021 that I haven't seen many other channels or music publications even touch. So I thought, why not be the guy to try and put some new music into the world for you guys, a genre that you may be not too, you know, happy with. I know this is a style of music that seems to be, you know, on 2 extreme ends of the opinions. I think people that absolutely love it go absolutely crazy for albums like this, and then there are people out here that call it, you know, mumble rap. It's not real rap. Rap has gone to shit. But I'm somewhere more towards the loving side. When I hear a really good album in this style anyway, I get really excited for it because it's just mindless fun at the end of the day. I think the best way to approach this music is 90% of the time, maybe even 95% of the time, ignore the lyrics. If you just tune out a lot of the lyrics and you just take the music for what it is, I think you can have a fun time with any of these 5 albums I'm going to mention. The only negative thing about Poko Perks is the fact that he has like 3 heart symbols in his name. So it's like, you know, the bloody less than sign and then a 3 to make like a heart. It's actually in his name. It's kind of cringe, really. It's a bit cringe, bro, come on. But apart from that, I actually think this guy's really good. And one of the most insane albums I've heard this year in terms of the samples that are included on this album. If I were to tell you that Lady Gaga's Paparazzi and Daft Punk's One More Time were intertwined, interwoven, sampled in 2 different trap songs, would you believe me? You wouldn't. But I'll tell you right now, I ain't lying. This is an album, by the way, not a mixtape from what I've gathered when I've searched up just to make sure. So I do not know how the hell this guy cleared those samples. I mean, did he just like email Daft Punk and check if it was okay? I don't know. What did he do to make this happen? Lady Gaga as well? I'm blown away. Maybe this is a mixtape and wherever I'm searching, you know, is incorrectly labeling it as an album. Perhaps that could be true. But if this is an album and he cleared these samples, oh my God. Regardless of that though, they actually sound really good, especially the One More Time one. I just think the way that works into the track is just genius. I was so shocked and taken aback when I heard this pop up. I was like, wow. The production behind this is insanely smart and clever, and the rest of the album is just as good, by the way. Just because these 2 tracks were shocking to hear, it doesn't make the rest of the album, you know, pale in comparison, because I think so much of this album is really good. There's a lot of Black Cray production credits all over this, like people that have worked with Black Cray. I'm not the biggest fan of Black Cray, but I think a lot of people do love Black Cray, and I think if you're seeing those kinds of names all over this album, you're probably going to want to hear this. He's got a very slurred delivery. He goes for a pretty melodic style with the kind of hazy production. There are some tracks that remind me of like classic Clams Casino days. So, you know, again, these are all positives. This is a really good album, to be honest. There are only a few tracks that I wasn't as keen on. Some of the lyrics as well occasionally popped up and I was a bit like, I'm not sure about that. But yeah, I really had a good time with this. Reviewed this relatively recently, but I can't not mention it. Cochise had a great album. A pretty overlooked album as well. This is a really fun and just bouncy album from a creative artist. There are a few tracks that go in a bit more of a dancehall direction, which I think was cool to see that kind of fusion come together. They weren't the best tracks on the album, but it was good to see that he was, you know, bringing his roots to the music as well. Again, not massively lyrically impressive at times, but I just love the way this guy flows. He's just so energetic at all times. He doesn't ever go too overboard as well. He's just in the right kind of lane. He's just having so much fun with what he's doing, and it just makes for a really enjoyable listen. This is one of my favorite albums of the year, easily. I raved about this guy last year. He dropped 2 albums, or mixtapes in fact. The Yellow Tape mixtape, and which was really good, and also his follow-up mixtape after that, which I think was even better than Yellow Tape, to be honest. Key Glock. I think Key Glock is pretty good. I like this guy. He always has a bit of a swagger to him over the beats. He does like mimic similar flows across tracks, you know, he does kind of repeat ideas a lot. But I think this album here, Yellow Tape 2, the sequel, is worthy of your time. It's not a disappointing sequel by any stretch of the imagination. I know sometimes sequels can absolutely just, you know, flop and be nowhere near as good as the original. I know what that can be like. It happens more with films, I'd say, to be honest. But yeah, Yellow Tape 2, pretty much more of the same. If you liked what he was doing before in his other work, this is definitely up your street. So it's just him extending what we've known to come and expect. And if you're a fan of it, you're going to like this. That's one of those things. He's not changed things up that much, to be fair, but it's good. I want to mention the Godfather next. Not huge amounts to say about this one, because I think out of all the 5 I'm going to mention here, it might be the least original, especially in terms of content. I mean, you've got a track on here called Thick Bitch. I mean, come on, if that's not a stereotypical trap name song, I don't know what is. But no, he's very melodic, probably the most melodic actually on this whole list. I think if there was anyone that was gonna, you know, break through with a huge hit, particularly in America, because tracks like this tend to be bigger over there, I think The Godfather is actually the most palatable in that sense. Some of these tracks actually remind me like prime DJ Mustard beats, which I know for a while he was on every friggin' song known to man. So I think if you were a fan for that era and you were nostalgic for that era, I'm not personally really. I don't necessarily, you know, gravitate towards his style that much. But yeah, if you have nostalgia for that time, I think The Godfather might feed into that nostalgia a little bit. But he's here to have a bit of fun. He's doing his thing. He's good. And the final one I want to mention, my 5th album, Time of My Life, Thouxanbanfauni. I've mentioned this guy quite a lot on this channel, even just in passing references in other videos, but I've reviewed 2 of his albums twice this year as well. So you're probably up to date and familiar with him if you keep up with this channel. He has the haziest and cloudiest and atmospheric sound out of all of these. And that's what I like about this list, actually. I think each artist brings something slightly different to the table, even though you could all label each one, like you could label all of each of these albums as trap, but I think this is the atmospheric, cloudy side of trap that I think you know, Playboi Carti fans are gonna die over. I still think it's a bit mad that actually, you know, this album hasn't crossed over to that fan base. I don't know why I don't see this getting brought up on Twitter every 5 minutes, just in the same way I see Playboi Carti getting brought up on Twitter every 5 minutes. I find it kind of crazy. But again, hopefully this video will at least bring your attention to him and you're going to check him out. So yeah, pretty diverse list here. I'm going to leave it there. Thouxanbanfauni and Cochise, definitely the 2 favourites for me personally out of these 5, just because I've reviewed them separately and gave them glowing reviews, as you may remember. So yeah, they're definitely the ones I recommend the most. But still, Poko Perks has got a lot of talent in him. I didn't even mention the drill inspiration across the album too. It's hugely inspired by like Chief Keef and stuff. So yeah, definitely want to give that album a big shout out. The more melodic stuff, you want to go with The Godfather, and the kind of cool, laid back swagger, you know, I've got so much attitude, I'm better than you bitches, a kind of rapper in Key Glock. Then yeah, that's for you if that's what you're looking for. And that's it. That's the 5 albums. I'm leaving it there. Thank you for watching this video. If there are any other list videos you want me to do, please let me know, and I will, you know, I will comply. I will think about it. I might even do them as a list on this channel this year. So yeah, definitely let me know. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please check out the Patreon as well if you want more lists like this. I think supporting Patreon would be fantastic. There is a list here on Patreon too, so if you want to recommend anything that gets, you know, straight onto this channel, that is the quickest way for you to do that. So thank you for watching. Please support your boy Ryan. Have a good day and goodbye.